Copper thieves are stealing phone lines. Uber's algorithm may be ripping off drivers and customers, and it turns out that BS does baffle brains, even artificial ones. Welcome to Hashtag Trending. I'm your host, Jim Love. Let's get into it. If you experience an outage on your landline or wired internet service, it may not be a technical issue. It could be part of a new wave of thefts, stealing phone lines. "We've lost our landline" was a phrase that usually meant that we'd gone from wired service to wireless service. Today, it could be part of a new wave of thefts. Yes, stealing phone lines. And it's happening across Canada and North America. Why? For the copper and the wires. Copper prices have exploded, and with that, thefts have wildly increased. Bell Canada saw 500 copper theft cases this year, up 23%. The company said 88% of physical security incidents involve copper theft. TELUS has reported issues as well. And in the U.S., there's the same problem. In Houston, they saw cable cuts jump 17%. In Louisiana, one resident told Fox 8, "My phone goes in and out and I haven't had internet since May because thieves keep cutting AT&T lines." Verizon had 9 cases in one Virginia county alone, knocking out service for 250 customers. The thieves dress like workers with safety gear and official-looking trucks, but aren't always the sharpest wire cutters in the drawer. Many companies are moving to fiber cables, then these are run parallel to the copper cables, so thieves could steal literally hundreds of dollars worth of copper, but they do tens of thousands of dollars in damage to the copper and the fiber cables. U.S. provider Lumen spent $500,000 fixing theft damage in Washington state alone in 2024. And the problem is likely to continue as long as copper prices stay high. Telecoms are reportedly sitting on billions of dollars worth of the metal. TELUS expects to make $500 million selling old copper over 5 years. But even if nobody's crying tears for telcos that have a little of their windfall taken from them, the real damage can be serious. Some areas have lost 911 service entirely. Some companies like AT&T are so fed up that they're ditching copper networks, citing declining reliability with storms and increased copper theft, but it's unlikely that they can get this done fast enough. Copper demand is expected to double by 2035, and supply shortfalls are starting this year. With billions in copper still underground and sky-high prices, this could be just the beginning. So if you spot a robbery, call the cops, if the phones are still working on either side of the call, that is. 2 major universities have accused Uber of using hidden algorithms to dramatically boost profits by raising fares and cutting driver pay. Their research claims to show how Uber turned from a money-losing startup into a cash machine using their pricing algorithm. The Columbia Business School analyzed over 31,000 trips and found that Uber's upfront pricing launch in 2022 was a key to its profit turnaround. The study said that Uber implemented the largest known implementation of algorithmic price discrimination on both sides of its marketplace. Although Uber denies that they do it, the researchers claim that using distance and time pricing, Uber's algorithm figures out who's willing to pay more as a passenger or accept less as a driver. Columbia researcher Len Sherman says Uber knows more about driver and rider behavior, so they can figure out who is willing to pay more or accept less. Despite Uber's denials, it's a fact that since launching upfront pricing, Uber has increased rider prices, cut driver pay, increased its take rates, and greatly improved its cash flow. Uber generated $6.9 billion in cash during 2024 compared with a $303 million loss in 2022. Oxford University reached the same conclusion, studying 1.5 million UK trips. So Uber is doing well, but the drivers aren't. The Oxford study found many drivers were making substantially less per hour since the algorithm changes. And what makes this more problematic is the secrecy. Neither drivers nor riders know how prices are calculated. The algorithm uses data about your behavior to decide what you'll accept to pay, but you can't see how. Uber fights hard to keep this a secret. The company sued to block a Colorado law requiring disclosure of driver pay rates. It threatened to leave the state if forced to be transparent. Uber also blocks third-party apps that would give drivers pricing tools and even blocks drivers from accessing their own trip data. It's not the only example of how, in the current digital world, large suppliers can use algorithms to boost profits, not by providing better service, but by getting better at extracting value through hidden manipulation affecting customers, and in this case, the workers as well. Facilitate comprehensive cognitive behavioral framework utilization through systematic algorithmic implementations within interdisciplinary research paradigms for advanced computational methodologies. It's obvious. We've all had to struggle to stay awake during some presentation, or we've all had to read some report full of high-sounding phrases, looking desperately for a fact that we can hang on to. But it's just corporate BS, right? Ignore it, nod and smile. It'll go away, at least till next time. But somebody has actually found a use for this horse hockey. It turns out that researchers discovered you can trick AI chatbots like ChatGPT into giving dangerous information if you just make your questions sound academic enough. A team from Intel, Boise State, and the University of Illinois created a method they call InfoFlood. It takes banned requests, things that AI should flag and refuse, and wraps these in jargon and fake research citations. So instead of asking, how do I hack an ATM, which a good AI will refuse to tell you, you flood the AI with academic-sounding language and fake paper references, and voila! Which is fancy talk for, I'm going to tell you something. And it works, because AI systems think that if something sounds scholarly, it must be legitimate research. So instead of guardrails catching keywords and responding with that, sorry, as an AI language model, we've all heard it, just add enough impressive jargon and the safety systems get confused. And the researchers claim they've achieved near-perfect success rates on multiple frontier LLMs using this technique. So it turns out the old saying is right. Bullshit does baffle brains, even artificial ones. And that's our show. Love to hear from you, even if it's just to shoot the breeze. You can reach us at technewsday.ca or .com. Use the Contact Us page and send us a message. If you're watching on YouTube, just leave a message under the video. I'm your host, Jim Love, and this is No BS. I want you to have a wonderful Wednesday.